President Biden has signed executive actions designed to increase access to Obamacare during the coronavirus pandemic. Yesterday's order is supposed to establish a special enrollment period on healthcare.gov, the health insurance sign-up site established under former President Obama's Affordable Care Act. The period would be from mid-February to mid-May. The order also directs federal agencies to scrutinize and potentially reverse policies that may have made it more difficult to enroll in Obamacare and Medicaid. Here with in-depth analysis is Paul Seegert, managing partner at PCS Advisers, a healthcare benefits consulting firm. Paul, will it do anything?
Well, I think it's not going to address the bigger problem, and I would prefer to see a plan that takes everything into consideration in terms of healthcare. If we expand subsidies and essentially just expand Medicaid and expand the numbers of people or the percentage of the population that gets access to subsidized insurance, we're adding cost to the federal government, but we're not reducing the cost of health care. Yeah. And that's, to me, the greater threat that we face, is that the health care costs are out of control. Okay, so when you say we need to consider everything, what does that entail? Well, the insurance companies poured millions of dollars into Biden's campaign because the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare, has been a big boon for them. Their stock prices are up 2,000-3,000%. What they've been able to do is get the government to pay for many more people to buy their product, while that product has covered less and less over time. Deductibles have skyrocketed. Out-of-pocket costs for consumers have increased. And we haven't addressed it hasn't made care more affordable. So drug costs have increased dramatically, charges for facility charges, hospitals, et cetera. Those costs have continued to rise at a much more inflationary rate than the rest of the economy, and we haven't done a lot to control those.
I get the sense that we never really seem, or Washington maybe, never really seems to have a totally honest conversation about healthcare reform.
I think that's very accurate. What we have a really powerful consumer in this country, and the American consumer, I believe, will fix healthcare if we arm that consumer with information, transparency. And we've trained our consumers to consume healthcare in terms of copays and deductibles and insulated them from real cost. And unfortunately, depending on conspiracy theories, how much you believe in them, or how much bad actors, how badly they will act, that's by design. And we really need to bring more transparency. If we have, in areas where we do, we get better results.
We're speaking with Paul Seegert, managing partner with PCS Advisers. Do you envision a time where we even might go so far as to putting the consumer in total control in such a way that we don't get our health insurance from our employers anymore? I mean, what would that do?
Well, there is a move in that direction. There was part of what Trump allowed at the beginning of this past year was the ICHRA is what it's called, ICHRA, but it allowed employers to say, hey, we'll give you a set amount of money in an HRA account, and you go buy your own health insurance. And there again, it's the real issue. I think we could get there, but the real issue is we have to get involved in healthcare itself. You've got healthcare, and then you've got health insurance. We've got great healthcare. The way we pay for it is kind of crazy. Yeah. And we need to get transparency around costs. You look at, say, the cash price of a CT scan or complex imaging. If you call a facility today, a hospital around the country, and ask them what the cash price is, you'd be shocked how low it is. You could get a response of $287. Yet if you pull out your insurance card, whether that's through your employer plan or a plan you got through the exchange or Obamacare or maybe Biden Care in the future, they'll bill your plan $2,400.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. What's likely to get done here, Paul, given the makeup of Washington right now politically?
I think what we're likely to see is that subsidies will increase. They'll raise the income caps that allow people to qualify for subsidies. We'll get more people on, and that's really the thrust of Biden Care. Expand subsidies, expand the numbers of people that can get subsidized insurance.
There's Paul Seegert, managing partner at PCS Advisers.